Zombie games have become a prominent subgenre within the broader category of horror and survival games. From heart-pounding shooters to spine-chilling horror, zombie games promise to deliver adrenaline-pumping experiences. So today we're counting down the top 10 upcoming zombie games that are sure to bring thrills, chills, and plenty of intense gameplay. Starting with number 10, we have No More Room in Hell 2. It is an upcoming first-person cooperative survival horror game, serving as the sequel to the original No More Room in Hell. Developed by Lever Games, it expands on the foundation laid by its predecessor with enhanced gameplay mechanics, updated graphics, and new features. Like the original game, it is set in a world overrun by zombies. Players must work together to survive waves of undead and complete objectives across various locations. The game supports cooperative gameplay, where teams of players must collaborate to achieve goals, defend positions, and navigate through dangerous environments. This game introduces objective-based missions, adding depth and structure to gameplay. Players must complete tasks, such as scavenging for supplies, securing areas, and finding ways to escape or survive until rescue arrives. Players must manage limited resources like ammo, health packs, and tools. Survival involves strategic planning, teamwork, and adapting to dynamic situations. The game offers a range of firearms, melee weapons, and improvised tools for dispatching zombies. Each weapon has unique characteristics, encouraging players to choose based on their playstyle and the situation. Players can barricade doors, set traps, and use environmental hazards to their advantage. Strategic use of the environment is crucial for surviving zombie hordes. Lever Games has improved the graphics and visual effects for it, aiming to enhance immersion and create a more realistic and chilling atmosphere. The game features atmospheric sound design, including eerie ambient noises, zombie groans, and dynamic music that intensifies during critical moments. The specific release date has not been confirmed, but the game is anticipated to release on PC through platforms like Steam. While the focus is currently on PC, there may be considerations for console releases depending on the success and demand post-launch. In summary, No More Room in Hell 2 aims to build upon the cooperative survival horror gameplay that made its predecessor a cult classic. With updated mechanics and enhanced visuals, the game promises to deliver a thrilling and immersive experience for fans of the zombie survival genre. And on number 9, we have Once Human. It is an upcoming survival sandbox MMO game developed by NetEase Games. The game blends elements of survival horror crafting and open-world exploration set in a post-apocalyptic world. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic world, where an alien substance known as stardust has corrupted the environment and transformed living creatures into monstrous entities. Players take on the role of Beyonders humans who have gained special abilities from the stardust, and must survive in this hostile world while uncovering the mysteries behind the alien invasion. Players must gather resources, craft tools and weapons, build shelters, and manage their hunger and thirst to survive. The open-world environment is dynamic and filled with dangers, including hostile creatures and environmental hazards. Combat in Once Human involves both melee and ranged weapons, as well as the use of special abilities granted by the stardust. Players can customize their characters' abilities to suit their playstyle. A significant aspect of the game is constructing and upgrading bases. Players can build defensive structures, craft stations, and other facilities to support their survival efforts. As an MMO, Once Human features extensive multiplayer interactions. Players can team up to tackle challenges, trade resources, and participate in large-scale events. PvP combat is also a feature, adding an element of risk and competition. The game boasts high-quality graphics powered by advanced game engines, providing detailed environments, realistic lighting, and fluid animations. The visual design enhances the immersive experience of surviving in a bleak and dangerous world. The game is set to release on July 10, 2024 for Windows via Steam. In summary, Once Human aims to provide a rich and immersive survival experience, with its blend of sandbox mechanics, horror elements, and multiplayer interactions. The game's focus on exploration, crafting, and combat, combined with its intriguing setting, makes it a highly anticipated title among fans of survival and MMO games. Next on number 8, we got Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. It is an eagerly anticipated first-person shooter survival horror game developed by GSC Game World. It is the fourth game in the Stalker series and serves as a direct sequel to Stalker: Shadow of Chernobyl. The game promises to build on the strengths of its predecessors with a more expansive world, improved graphics, and deeper storytelling. The game is set in the Chernobyl exclusion zone, a highly radioactive area in Ukraine, which has become an even more dangerous and mysterious place due to various anomalies and mutated creatures. Players assume the role of a stalker, a scavenger who ventures into the zone in search of valuable artifacts. The game's story focuses on uncovering the secrets of the zone, dealing with various factions, and surviving the many threats that lurk within. Stalker 2 features a large open-world environment that players can explore freely. The zone is filled with various locations to discover. including abandoned facilities, forests, and urban areas, each with its own challenges and secrets. Survival is a core aspect of the game. Players must manage resources such as food, ammunition, and medical supplies. They also need to navigate environmental hazards like radiation and anomalies, which can have deadly effects. The game combines intense first-person shooter mechanics with stealth elements. Players can engage enemies head-on or use stealth to avoid confrontations. The AI of both human and non-human enemies is designed to provide a challenging and realistic experience. The zone is populated by various factions, each with its own goals and ideologies. Players can interact with these factions, undertake missions, and influence the dynamic world through their choices and actions. Stalker 2 utilizes the Unreal Engine 5, offering high-quality graphics, realistic lighting, and detailed environments. The game is scheduled to be released on September 5th, 2024 for Windows and Xbox Series X and S. In summary, Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl aims to deliver a deeply immersive and challenging experience building on the rich legacy of the Stalker series. With its open-world exploration, survival mechanics, and compelling narrative, it is one of the most highly anticipated games in the survival horror genre. And on number 7, we have Into the Dead: Our Darkest Days. It is an entry in the popular Into the Dead series, which combines elements of first-person shooters and survival horror. Developed by Pickpock, this game marks a shift from the series' traditional endless runner gameplay to a more narrative-driven survival experience. The game is set in a world overrun by zombies where players must navigate through dangerous environments to survive. Unlike previous games in the series Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days emphasizes a strong narrative. The story centers around the struggles of survivors trying to stay alive in a zombie-infested world, adding depth and emotional engagement to the gameplay. Players must scavenge for resources, manage supplies, and make critical decisions to ensure their survival. This includes finding food, weapons, and other necessities while avoiding or confronting zombie threats. The game features both combat and stealth elements. Players can choose to fight zombies using a variety of weapons, or avoid them by sneaking through the environment. Each approach has its own risks and rewards. The game encourages exploration of the environment to find supplies and uncover story elements. This adds a layer of strategy as players must decide when and where to explore while managing the constant threat of zombie attacks. Into the Dead: Our Darkest Days boasts improved graphics and a more immersive visual style compared to its predecessors. The game aims to create a tense and atmospheric experience with detailed environments and realistic lighting effects. As of now, specific details about release date for Into the Dead: Our Darkest Days is limited, but it's expected in 2025. In summary, Into the Dead: Our Darkest Days promises to bring a fresh and immersive experience to fans of the series and newcomers alike. By focusing on narrative and survival elements, it aims to offer a more in-depth and emotionally engaging take on the zombie survival genre. On number 6, it's Ill. It is an upcoming first-person survival horror game developed by Clout Games. It has generated significant interest in the gaming community due to its highly detailed graphics, atmospheric tension, and gruesome horror elements. Ill is set in a dark and disturbing world filled with grotesque and horrifying creatures. The exact storyline is still under wraps, but the game promises a narrative filled with mystery and terror. Specific plot details have not been fully revealed, but the game seems to revolve around a protagonist who finds themselves in a nightmarish environment struggling to uncover the truth and survive against monstrous threats. The game is played from a first-person perspective, enhancing immersion and tension as players navigate through the terrifying environments. Players must scavenge for resources, manage limited supplies, and use their wits to survive. The game emphasizes survival horror elements, requiring players to be cautious and strategic. Ill features both combat and stealth mechanics. Players will have to fight off horrific creatures using whatever weapons they can find, while also employing stealth to avoid detection when necessary. The game allows for interaction with the environment, which can be used to solve puzzles or find hidden paths and resources. Ill is noted for its stunning and realistic graphics, which are powered by Unreal Engine 5. The game's visuals are designed to create an intense and horrifying atmosphere with highly detailed environments and character models. The game employs dynamic lighting and ambient sounds to keep players on edge. Clout Games, an indie developer, is behind Ill. Despite being a smaller studio, they have managed to attract attention with their impressive early footage and ambitious vision for the game. As of now, there is no official release date for Ill, however, it will be available on PC soon. There is also potential for console releases, but no official announcements have been made. In summary, Ill is shaping up to be a highly anticipated title in the survival horror genre. With its focus on intense atmosphere, realistic graphics, and survival mechanics, it promises to deliver a deeply immersive and terrifying experience for horror game enthusiasts. Next on number 5, we have Toxic Commando. It is an upcoming first-person shooter developed by Saber Interactive and published by Focus Entertainment. The game is notable for its cooperative gameplay and its involvement with the legendary horror genre filmmaker John Carpenter. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic world where a catastrophic event has unleashed hordes of undead and mutated creatures. Players must navigate through this dangerous environment to complete their objectives. The story involves a group of heavily armed commandos on a mission to stop the source of the outbreak and save humanity. The narrative is likely to include elements of horror action and dark humor influenced by John Carpenter's signature style. Toxic Commando is designed with cooperative multiplayer in mind. Players can team up with friends to tackle missions and fight off waves of enemies. The cooperative gameplay encourages teamwork and strategic planning. Players will have access to a variety of weapons and gadgets to combat the undead and other threats. The game features drivable vehicles, adding a dynamic element to exploration and combat. Players can use these vehicles to traverse the large open-world map and engage enemies on the move. Players will undertake various missions that involve rescuing survivors, gathering resources, and eliminating key threats. The objectives are designed to keep the gameplay varied and engaging. Toxic Commando aims to deliver high-quality graphics with detailed environments, realistic character models, and impressive special effects. The game's visual style is expected to enhance the horror and action elements. It is slated for release in 2024 and will be available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S, ensuring a wide reach across current generation gaming platforms. In summary, Toxic Commando promises to deliver an exciting blend of cooperative gameplay, intense action, and horror elements, all enhanced by the creative influence of John Carpenter. The game's focus on teamwork, dynamic combat, and engaging missions makes it a highly anticipated title for fans of the first-person shooter and horror genres. And on number 4, we have Nakwon Last Paradise. It is an upcoming game developed by Korean studio Action Square, known for their work on mobile games like Blade 2. The game aims to bring a fresh take on the zombie survival genre. The game is set in a post-apocalyptic version of Korea where players must navigate a world overrun by zombies and other dangers. The setting includes various urban and rural environments, each with unique challenges and resources. The story centers around survivors trying to find hope and safety in the midst of a zombie apocalypse. Players will uncover the backstory of the outbreak and the personal stories of various characters as they progress through the game. Players must manage their resources carefully, including food, water, and ammunition. Crafting is a key component, allowing players to create weapons, tools, and other essential items from materials they scavenge in the world. The game features a combination of combat and stealth mechanics. Players can engage zombies and other hostile survivors with a variety of weapons, or choose to avoid confrontation by sneaking past threats. Players can establish and upgrade bases, providing a safe haven to store resources, craft items, and plan their next moves. Bases can be fortified against zombie attacks and serve as a hub for managing survivor groups. The open-world design encourages exploration. Players will encounter various quests and events that drive the narrative forward and provide rewards. Exploration is crucial for finding resources and uncovering the world's secrets. Nakwon Last Paradise aims to deliver high-quality graphics with detailed environments and character models. The game's visual style enhances the immersion and tension of the post-apocalyptic setting. Action Square is leveraging their experience from previous titles to develop Nakwon Last Paradise. The studio's history with action-oriented games suggests a focus on engaging and dynamic gameplay mechanics. As of now, there is no official release date for Nakwon Last Paradise. The specific platforms have not been officially confirmed, but it is likely to be available on PC and potentially on consoles given the trend for similar games in the genre. Next on number 3, we have Blight Survival. It is an upcoming cooperative action horror game developed by Hainer Studio. It has been garnering attention for its unique setting, high-quality visuals, and intense gameplay. Blight Survival is set in an alternate medieval world ravaged by a mysterious and deadly plague known as the Blight. The plague not only decimates the population, but also turns the infected into monstrous creatures. The story revolves around a war-torn region where players must navigate through dangerous territories, battling both human and infected enemies. The game's lore is steeped in dark medieval themes, focusing on survival exploration and uncovering the secrets behind the Blight. The game supports cooperative gameplay, allowing up to 4 players to team up and tackle challenges together. Teamwork is crucial for survival, as players must coordinate their efforts to overcome powerful enemies and solve environmental puzzles. The game features a mix of brutal melee combat and stealth mechanics. Players can engage in visceral hand-to-hand combat with a variety of medieval weapons, or use stealth to avoid detection and gain the upper hand against enemies. The game incorporates survival elements such as resource management and crafting. Players must scavenge for supplies, craft weapons and tools, and manage their health and stamina to survive the harsh conditions. The game encourages exploration of its dark and atmospheric world. Players can discover hidden areas, uncover lore, and find valuable resources scattered throughout the environment. Blight Survival boasts high-quality graphics powered by Unreal Engine 5. The game's visual fidelity includes detailed character models, realistic environments, and dynamic lighting. The game's sound design and environmental effects are crafted to enhance the horror atmosphere. Hainer Studio is an indie game development team working on Blight Survival. Despite being a smaller studio, their dedication to high-quality visuals and engaging gameplay has drawn significant attention. As of now, there is no official release date for Blight Survival. The game is expected to be available on PC with potential releases on other platforms, such as PlayStation and Xbox depending on its success and development scope. In summary, Blight Survival is shaping up to be a compelling addition to the action horror genre with its cooperative gameplay, intense combat, and richly detailed world. The game's unique medieval setting and focus on survival make it a highly anticipated title for fans of horror and action games. And on number 2, we got State of Decay 3. It is the upcoming installment in the popular survival horror video game series developed by Undead Labs and published by Xbox Game Studios. Announced during the Xbox Games Showcase in July 2020. The game aims to build upon the mechanics and features of its predecessors while introducing new elements to enhance the player's experience. As with the previous games, State of Decay 3 is set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. The game focuses on survival resource management and community building. The announcement trailer hints at a more intense and immersive environment with a wintry landscape and new threats, including zombified animals. Players can expect a continuation of the series' open-world exploration-based building and strategic resource management. The goal remains to build a thriving community, manage survivors' needs and skills, and defend against zombie hordes. The introduction of new mechanics and threats will likely add more depth and challenge to the gameplay, leveraging the power of the Xbox Series X and S. State of Decay 3 is expected to feature significantly improved graphics, more detailed environments, and enhanced performance. This will provide a more immersive and visually stunning experience. While details are sparse, it's anticipated that the game will continue to support multiplayer and cooperative gameplay, allowing players to team up with friends to tackle the challenges of the zombie apocalypse together. As of now, there has been no official release date announced for State of Decay 3. It will be available on Xbox Series X and S and Windows, and it will also be included in Xbox Game Pass upon release. Undead Labs has been working to refine and expand the series' core concepts, and there's a lot of anticipation for how State of Decay 3 will evolve from the earlier games. The community is eagerly awaiting more news on specific features and improvements. In summary, State of Decay 3 promises to deliver an enhanced survival horror experience with new features and challenges that will appeal to both longtime fans and new players. Finally, on number 1, we have Beyond Hanwell. It is an upcoming open-world survival horror game developed by Studio Mono. The game is set in the 1980s in a dark and mysterious world. It draws inspiration from Lovecraftian horror and features a dystopian atmosphere. Players will navigate an open-world environment filled with supernatural entities and otherworldly threats. Exploration and survival are central gameplay elements with a focus on uncovering the secrets and lore of the game's universe. Studio Mono, known for their previous title Insomnia the Ark, is developing Beyond Hanwell. They aim to deliver a narrative-driven experience with deep world-building and atmospheric storytelling. Beyond Hanwell is a non-linear, single-player psychological survival horror game set in the deeper parts of London. In this eerie world, you'll explore Westminster and uncover the truth about an enigmatic stranger known as the Director. Armed with whatever you can find, you'll fight against anomalies or cleverly use the environment to your advantage. The game promises an atmospheric and immersive experience blending elements of horror, looter, shooter, and first-person combat. Keep an eye out for its release on August 11th, 2024. Discover locations in Westminster and find new ways to finish each area, revealing their secrets. The game aims for an effortless control scheme, allowing you to navigate the environment naturally with minimal tutorials. Beyond Hanwell is dense, detailed, and atmospheric. Explore, search, scavenge, and survive. Interact with the world in various ways, using the environment to take out enemies or open up new paths. And there you have it. That wraps up our countdown of the top 10 upcoming zombie games that are set to redefine survival horror and action-packed gameplay. Which game are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay updated with all things zombies and gaming.